Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Growing a Deeply Rooted Business podcast. My name is Jess, your sustainable growth strategist. I'm here with Rachel, our resident marketing mastermind. And today we are going to be talking about quiz funnels. So, the last couple of weeks, we have been on a journey through email marketing. Rachel has been absolutely shining in her zone of genius. And today we're going to be talking about one of our favorite lead magnets and walking you through our framework that we use when we create these quizzes in Interact.
Yes, we are deep in the quiz trenches right now. We have a quiz client that we are knocking out some blueprints for, or is that what we're calling it? The blueprint? I'm like,
Quiz funnel blueprint.
okay. Yeah, I'm obsessed with what we just delivered and seeing how it's going to shine in her business. And honestly, when you look at a quiz, they're so powerful for big business, small business, medium businesses, all around kind of thing, because they really do take what our true values are of like intentionality, sustainable systems, and it works in a way that solidifies your ecosystem to support whether it be multiple offers, whether it's simplifying down from maybe 25 lead magnets into down to one really intentional lead magnet. And the ultimate purpose of it, whether that be conversion into like leads from followers to leads, or whether it's engagement or just list segmentation, whatever it is, they're so versatile. And honestly, I'm just so excited for the way that we've ramped up this product that we've been both doing. It's absolutely phenomenal. We're going to walk through our framework that we go through, and it's a fun little acronym. Is that what they're called?
It is. I was like, is she going to know the word? It is an
acronym called the Aligned framework. So Aligned, if you obviously are very familiar with my lead magnet product, which I do talk about quizzes in there, which is the Aligned lead formula. It's very similar to that. So we just love the word aligned.
When I picked it out, I didn't even realize that, because I was like, convert, align, what do we want to do? And then I went that, I'm like, this just feels more on brand. And then I was like, oh, wait, you already have the aligned.
Yeah.
So here we are with the aligned quiz framework. And I'm just going to add my 2 cents on why I love quizzes personally too, because I was thinking about it this morning. And I do a lot of things. If you didn't know me, I do a lot of things. I've got like Notion, I do some GoodJobby, I do some systems builds, and like the thorough line through all of it is just finding a way to automate or optimize your processes so that you can maintain the flexibility that you got into entrepreneurship in the first place. That is why we got here. So that's why I'm obsessed with things like ChatGPT or with Notion, because anything that's going to save me time, help me be more effective in less time, I am obsessed with, and quizzes are the lead magnet that I feel aligns with that the most. Anyway, going back into our framework, the A of our framework is attract attention. So your quizzes this kind of starts with the title. What is the title that you're going to pick that is going to stop your ideal client in their scroll and help them click away from wherever else they were searching for to be able to take that quiz?
Yeah. I think if we haven't mentioned, one of the big products that we use for creating these quizzes is Interact. Jess and I'm an Interact guru over here with how many times I've had to use the branching logic. One of my clients has 9+ results, and every single one of her answers links to something different. So branching logic is my superpower at this point. But if you go to the Interact website, which we have a link for it in the show notes, there's a gallery of quiz examples that I think this is a beginning part of making sure that your quiz title is catchy enough to attract people. Sometimes just scrolling through those examples is really powerful so that you can see what other people's titles are using. What is this? How do I solve for that? And not make it so cut and dry, but put a little fun spin on it, I think is the most important part to making sure that your quiz, 1, gets actually taken, and 2, answers a problem that is an actual problem for your audience.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that it's curiosity driven and has a little flair to it. So the roadmap that we delivered this week was really about a root cause, getting to the root cause of your health issues.
Yeah.
And there's probably a zillion quizzes that are out there. What is the root cause of, figure out the root cause of this? And the title that Rachel and Klein and all of us co-collaborated on is now, what is your blueprint to radical well-being?
Yeah.
Which that just sounds more fun and makes me want to take it more than figure out the root cause of like why you have a stomach problem.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like something so in the client, I guess we're just gonna make this a case study about our client.
Yeah,
But like
yeah, we are.
in that, the radical well-being was really tied to her branding and her own identity. And so having that element in your quiz is also important because Jess said there are so many quizzes out there about finding this and doing that. And unless there's a unique link back to you, you don't just want to look like just another quiz. So having that's going to like really be rooted in your own branding is important too.
All right. So moving on to the L, which is leverage strategy. So I'm a very visual person. So I love to do this in Canva, but map it all out. But the main point of here is like your quiz should be leading to something you sell. Probably.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like obvious, but sometimes obviously there are fun quizzes that you can do right
Yeah.
here, but for the clients we serve, it should be leading to one of your offers. So the topic of your quiz should lead to the offer, and then every little piece that comes after it should be that customer journey that is preparing them to be able to say yes to that offer.
Yeah, and one of the best ways to do this to make sure you're like goal focused, and Jess and I talk about this with our planning sessions, with all of the things where we're saying work backwards, whether it's a launch that you're doing, annual planning that you're doing, you set the goal and then you like chop it up backwards. So in this case, for the quiz, you have 3 offers you want to sell. Like that's 3 results minimum, unless there's a lot of nuance in some of those offers, but working backwards and developing questions towards what your results are going to be. So you're not setting, this is the name of my quiz. What am I going to ask? Like really strategize from the end result to the front of it so that it's really built with intention instead of being a bunch of questions that you're going to lose some people throughout.
And I feel like this is where like quizzes as a lead magnets, their superpowers shine because it's one lead magnet and you can lead it to multiple different offers. So my optimization, get more stuff done with less self absolutely loves quizzes for that reason because you're not having to be like, what lead magnet am I promoting this month? What am I talking about? We talked with this through with our client
Mm.
about how her call to actions on social can all tie back
Yeah.
to this. What is your radical blueprint for radical well-being?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Moving on to our I. So inspire trust.
Wow.
I think quizzes, again, this is where they shine because the questions, it starts from when they're taking the quiz, where you start to build the trust with the kind of questions that you're asking
Yeah.
and help to establish your expertise.
Yeah. And with these, this is an area like as a business owner who is setting up a quiz, it's really important to flex your experience here. So it's if you're saying, again, we're stuck in the weeds of dietitian wellness clients. So these are going to be mainly my examples right now, but what are your symptoms or are you experiencing any of these symptoms? And if you are it aligned, again with the word, aligned with your ideal client, these are symptoms that are actual things that they're going to select on. This is going to be like when they're reading through this and be like, oh, yeah, this one. What you don't want to do is just randomly put some questions in there that don't actually tie back to the reality of your like take the quiz taker. And so building trust here is also validating that you know what they're going through, right? You have this already prompted into your responses because, or into your questions because you know how to handle situations like this. And so really making sure that the people who are taking your quiz feel seen, they feel heard, they feel validated throughout the process of your questions. Trust building doesn't just happen when they hit the see my results. It happens when it's, oh, I'm answering this. And if they get halfway through it and they're, okay, this doesn't really feel I'm on the right track to like getting anywhere. You haven't asked me anything that's of relevance. You're losing a lot of trust in that process too.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to our G, we're going to do guide the next step. So after they submit their quiz questions, you're able to deliver personalized results or and a personalized follow-up based on segmentation that we can do in Try Interact's platform. So we're able to say, based on this answer, this person is a cortisol queen, or based
Yeah.
on this answer, this person has major gut issues. I couldn't think of a gut needs
Yeah.
a gut guide or something like that if we're gonna get a little cheesy with it. But it's really that's where quizzes shine because you're able to guide the next step in your offer suite and direct them to where they need to go, whether that is to book a consultation or be guided to a specific program that addresses the issues that we've identified when they were taking the quiz.
Yeah, and honestly, just from an email marketing perspective, the power of a quiz in validating one, you're already putting Interact connects to every single platform I use, but we use them to send back like answers to the question. If you can build custom field active campaigns in a platform that I use, where you can like then send this specific answer is going to go and fill in this and use it then for personalization in your email campaigns and all of that your segmentation, if you've done the quiz structured properly, the result should be a particular segment that you can then retarget and send. And again, that sends it to your active to your platform, your email platform, whatever, which one you're using. You can really use it for market research. There's just so many things that you can do to superpower your email list through whatever data you're collecting from this quiz side of things. So the like sending them to the results page is you can redirect to your own website. You can do all of these different things, but really making sure that you're following that process through the remaining touch points and making sure that you're cohesively targeting these new leads on your list.
Yeah, it's everything that we love about email marketing. We're able to do it super easily with a
Mhm.
quiz. I think is why we're both obsessed with them.
Yeah.
All right. So our in is going to be nurturing relationships. So following taking the quiz, like
Mhm.
Rachel said, we're able to deliver because we know so much about them because they've just answered 8 to 10 questions. We've got to know about, we know them, we know their symptoms. We're able to if symptoms, we're saying symptoms
I
because I work with a lot of health coaches, but we know them, we know their issues, we know their pain points, we know their symptoms. We're able to deliver personalized email follow ups and personalized resources based on those answers. And that's going to help just accelerate that no trust factor with your clients and warm them up and get them ready to invest with you even faster.
Yeah, and I think if you listen back to our nurture sequence one, that's the most like relevant targeted information that you can have is really taking them, building them through that next step of conversion in that nurture sequence too. Because once they get to your results page, they still may need some time to read through, to educate themselves. And that's where the power of your nurture sequence comes in to support and reiterate validate and like really hit them home with their results and making sure that they feel comfortable taking that next step, whether it's through conversion or a conversation or whatever that looks like.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us into E is tied in for which is educate with insights. So this is where we're able to provide personalized resources, aha moments based on their responses. Again, just helping you build your expertise as the person that they need to help solve their next problem.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part is that you're not just immediately pushing to a sale. And you can in some quizzes, like if they're positioned properly, can immediately push to a sell and they convert insanely. But in other cases, depending on again, go back to the lead magnet episode where we were talking about what level of awareness in your kind of like customer journey is this lead magnet targeting. So if this person take 6 months to convert into this particular product or this level of your offer suite, making sure that you're not, oh, I sent 4 emails and they didn't convert. And you have a long time before they're actually ready from an education and awareness standpoint. So, educate is important.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking to that too, the problem awareness. So on our site, we have a problem aware quiz. We also have a solution aware quiz. So we're able to leverage the same lead magnet in 2 different
Mm,
ways. So it's very versatile.
yeah. Then there's one D, so ending out aligned with drive traffic, which I will say is the most important thing of any lead magnet. You can have the most perfect lead magnet in the entire world. And if you are not driving traffic to it, it will sit there, collect and dust, and not be converting anything. So, really making sure that, like we had said earlier, making sure your overall, whatever social platform, whatever marketing platform you choose to be on, is able to integrate your quiz into it pretty effortlessly so that you're constantly hitting on that touch point, whether it's you're talking, and again, we're gonna keep hitting on this on the dietitian thing, whether you're talking about gut issues, whether you're talking about like autoimmunity, whatever that looks like, it can easily flow back to your quiz and somebody can say, oh yeah, like maybe topic one didn't relate to them, but that's not what your whole quiz is about. And they can still serve themselves into the right result after you've caught their attention with topic two. So it's really important to make sure that it integrates into your content flow and all of those different systems that you have to drive traffic to whatever conversion point you have.
Yes. All right. So, just a recap of our aligned quiz formula. We've got A, which is attract attention with clickable, curiosity driven title. L, which is leverage strategy to align every step your quiz taker takes with your goals and offers. I, inspire trust with thoughtful questions and personalized results. G, guide the next step with clear call to action. N, nurture relationships with engaging follow up emails. E, educate with insights to provide real value. And D, make sure that you are driving traffic to your quiz, whether that be through organic social, having it up on your website, organic search. People love to take quizzes. So I find like that we usually have a very high conversion rate
Mm.
compared to other lead magnets landing pages, but you have to get the people there. You need to get the
Yeah.
eyeballs there. But once you have your quiz funnel framework is all aligned and laid out, it makes everything else easier.
Yeah.
All right. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you share it with a biz bestie. If you're interested in implementing a quiz in your business, this is something that Rachel and I are offering together. You can find out more information about it at thelaunched.collaborative.com/quiz funnel. And if you are looking to implement a quiz, we definitely recommend Interact. That is the platform that we use with all of our clients. And again, the links to all those things will be in the show notes. Anything else to add, Rachel?
I don't think so. Until next time, we
We're
rooting for
rooting
you.
for you. Okay.